Retired, but not retiring. Qing is seen as a fearless advocate for the rule of law. For some 30 years, she served as a deputy of the Beijing People's Congress. She was one of the very first to vote no back in 1984. Behind her strength was the belief in the supreme power of the Constitution.
The Constitution guarantees constitutionalism. I studied it, especially in Article number 3. All administrative, judicial, and procuratorial organs of the state are created by the people's congresses to which they are responsible and by which they are supervised. So when I found that government officials had been put forward to be members of 2 committees in the People's Congress, I thought it was too much, because athletes could not be referees at the same time. I did it according to the Constitution. I think that is the right thing to do. But I didn't know that I was the only person who had done it.
China is changing. People no longer speak for one voice, and the call for the rule of law is getting louder. Deputy Cai Jiming cast his vote against on the report for the Supreme People's Court during the last session of the NPC. He questioned the court's independence and efficiency. Reviewing the government's reports and making suggestions during the annual political session are the major forms of supervision. Cai Jiming believes what's needed is a mechanism and resources to back it. He says almost all of the deputies are holding other posts like himself and have little time to supervise. And the proportion of government officials within the NPC is still high, making it hard to be supervised.
最高法院和最高检察院的工作报告呢，它虽然提供了很多数据。
Although the Supreme People's Court and the Supreme People's Procuratorate have provided a lot of absolute figures of progress each year, they have failed to provide relevant figures to let people see the actual progress. For example, the higher execution rate does not indicate how many more are awaiting execution. And the higher number of fugitives arrested cannot reveal how many have escaped. Deputies need the relevant figures to better supervise those jobs.
以及这个工作法院的检察院的工作效率提高了多少？
The pillars of oversight can't be strengthened overnight. Many think the NPC needs to explore new ways to get the job done. Qing has kept all of the documents from her lawmakers' days. She's been watching the transition from the rule by man to the rule by law. She believes further changes must start with the people themselves. They must not only know the Constitution, but put it into action. The former deputy says protecting people's rights and promoting the rule of law is her lifetime mission.
Today, there's nothing extraordinary in voting against or abstaining during the annual political meetings. The old days when all of the NPC deputies raised their hands and applauded to pass are part of the history. Lawmakers are fully aware that it's their legitimate right and duty to vote responsibly and supervise the government's work. It's the people's interests that come first. Han Bin, CCTV, Beijing.